Right, let's have a look at eHEX against HEX on pulse chain. Are we ever going to see them go to parity? Let's have a look.
HEX is much better than eHEX, the HEX on Ethereum. Why? Gas fees, liquidity, slippage, common sense. Why would you pay $1,000 to end stake instead of pennies? Why would you want crappier order execution, buying into a thinner order book with more slippage, getting...
And so it goes on. Makes sense. Now look at the chart. This is eHEX against HEX on pulse chain, a weekly chart here. And we can see that the trend has definitely been one of down and to the right. You've only got 0.14 of a HEX on pulse chain if you're holding HEX on Ethereum. That's how much value you've got in pulse HEX terms. We can see that from back in March there was a wick down and it bottomed out at pretty much a 10-to-1 ratio. Maybe that 10-to-1 ratio is going to be the floor. If you see, I've got these fib levels on here just above that 0.786 level, so at the bottom of the golden pocket area we're roughly around a 3-to-1 ratio, and that's had some resistance. I could imagine it having resistance there on the way back up if it does go up. Then also we've got this kind of 3-to-2 ratio here that's been more of a resistance for a longer time. That's going to be a real problem if it ever tries to break through there. But yeah, we can see it's definitely been down and to the right. Is that going to go on forever? I don't know. What might reverse the trend though? Lower market cap. Well, HEX on Ethereum has a much lower market cap than HEX on pulse chain, so with an equal amount of buy orders coming in, you're going to get more of a price movement. Maybe that can help it really catapult back up there. Ethereum developments. Now this is the thing. The whole point of pulse chain originally was just to make HEX contracts more profitable. And well, we might have a time in the future when developments with Ethereum make it too a lot less expensive, especially that S-load function that was causing all the problem before. If HEX on Ethereum becomes a lot cheaper to end stake, then it stands to reason that it's going to start going up in value because people can make more money with it. Staking and yield farms, yeah, maybe in the future there'll be more opportunity to stake your HEX in liquidity pools. Maybe at some point in the future there'll be more opportunities to use liquidity pools and farming to gain yield from your eHEX. Outsider perception, all right? So eHEX is the gateway drug. When most people think of HEX, they think of the original HEX chart, which is 5 years old now, all but a few days. And looking at that chart, they're going to see HEX at a certain price, and the price they see is eHEX. So they probably are going to think of coming in and buying eHEX first, because they just don't even know pulse chain exists in many cases. And maybe it's a good idea for us to not let the eHEX chart look too bad, because then that's a bad reflection on the rest of the ecosystem. eHEX staking on pulse chain. I think I heard Maria once mention something along those lines, being a possibility potentially, but that is nowhere near being a reality, and I wouldn't bet on it. Similarly, future burn mechanisms could help the price by reducing the supply, but that being said, RH, peace be upon him, he's not a big fan of burning, except in the case of the Pulse X contract, of course, which makes a lot of sense. So, have we bottomed out at this level now? Is it going to stay at around 10-to-1 against PHEX forever? Are we going to see the intervention of a benevolent duck? Well, I doubt that very much. What I think is probably going to happen from here on in is that it's going to stay around here unless we see developments in Ethereum making it cheaper to use, especially this S-load function. Unless we see euphoria in the markets and people just gobbling up stuff, and then it's going to move quicker, all things being equal, because of its lower market cap. But no, for the most part, I think we're just going to have to let the market decide